All right, so if you didn't do the homework from last week as yet, you can still submit it because I'm still marking them, right? I'll probably finish marking by tomorrow. So if you didn't do it and you want to submit it tonight, you can do that. Probably over the weekend, I will close the form, so I will not be able to get any more submissions after that, right? Even if you are late, I encourage you to do it. Today's class, we want to work with reflexive verbs like we did last week. Do an exercise on that. Do a comprehension and then look at numbers. But I think we're going to start with numbers. Right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to ignore the exercise for now. We're just looking at the graphic itself, right? Right. So we'll cover up Mr. Turtle here and his questions, which are just nosy and time consuming, right? All right. Now everybody has done numbers before. Have you done all the numbers? Have you gone all the way up to a million? And beyond, anybody is doing numbers for the first time? If you're doing numbers for the first time, I'd like to know. Or the higher numbers for the first time, I'd like to know. All right, no problem. Okay, good. So numbers we need to know by heart, right? We have to memorize them. All right, so we're starting at the top with 0. Okay. All right, and if there are any that you are unfamiliar with, write them down. If you haven't done numbers before, you will have to write down all, but you won't do it in class. That will be your homework assignment, right? Right, okay, so let's go. We're counting together, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So here we have an accent on the E to keep the stress over here. 17, 18, 19, right? 20, 21, 22, 23. So again, accents to keep the stress on this syllable. All right? 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then after the 10s and the 20s, which each of these is one word, we start using and, right? So 30 and then 30 y 1, 30 y 2, 30 y 3, 30 y 4, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. All right, then we come to 40, 40. So 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. 60, 60, right? 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. 70, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. 80. Right, and it follows the pattern. So, okay, we're almost 100, so we'll just finish it all together. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. 90, 90. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. And then we get to 100, right? Maybe a different color. All right, so 100 is 100, right? All right, now 101, 101. What would 102 be? If that is the pattern for 101. Right, so if it's 202, dos cientos dos, right? 102 will be ciento dos. 102 is ciento dos, right? So we can count to 200 using this pattern, 103, 104, 105, etc., right? All right, 200, which I'm introducing people to the vocabulary. I'm not assuming that everybody has met it before, right? So our objective right now is to just make sure we are on the same page with the vocabulary, right? We're not putting together new numbers as yet. All right, so 200, 200, literally 200s, 300, 300, 400, 400. Now here's an interesting one. 500 is 500. That didn't actually make it stand out more, it just sort of confused, right? So 500, QUINIENTOS, right? Make sure we know the spelling. 600, 600. 700, a little different, 700, right? 800, 900, right? So a little different, 900 as well. Then we get to 1,000. 1,000 is 1000, 2,000 2,000, 10,000 10,000, 100,000 100,000, a million, 1,000,000. Right, and then here's an example that's helpful to take down for a bigger number. What is the number in English? 123,456,789, right? So 123 millones, 423 million, for 456,400, because that's 400, 56,000, right? So 56,000. Then 789, 700, 700, 89, 89. All right. So for right now, please note the larger numbers that you might be less familiar with. And also possibly this example, right? So I'm going to give you a couple minutes, and if you have any questions, you could let me know. Right? Next week, we're going to do listening practice with the numbers, as well as some writing practice with the numbers. So we're just between this week and next week. Remind yourself of how to count 100, and then how we count hundreds, 100, 200, 300, etc. 1,000, 10,000, 100 million, 100,000, and a million, right? And los números has an accent on the U, which is cut off because of how I have stretched the picture, but you could put it in your note, right? All right, anybody still using this line? Okay, so I'm going to count to 10 and change it, right? Right. So just let's remind ourselves, because remember this is the lower form class, so we are moving at a slower pace, right? In Spanish, there are reflexive verbs, which we don't necessarily have in English, right? And those verbs are really verbs that tell us an action is being done to a person, by the person, right? So one is doing the action to oneself. These are the reflexive verbs. And we just have to memorize which ones are the reflexive verbs. When they are written in the infinitive, they will have se or se, which is the reflexive pronoun, the neutral reflexive pronoun at the end, right? All right, so, and in Spanish, these pronouns are mandatory. In English, they are not. So you have to prepare for that because it won't automatically present itself as a word for you to translate, because we wouldn't say it that way in English, right? All right, so the reflexive pronouns, what are they? For yo, it's me. For tú, it's te. Él, ella, usted, se. Nosotros, nos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, se. Right? All right, so let's look at, this was an example, levantarse, yo me levanto, tú te levantas, él, ella, usted, se levanta. Nosotros nos levantamos, ellos, ellas, ustedes, se levantan. Right? Anybody still confused about anything? Please say. We looked at this slide last week, so I'm not going to wait here. Let's go ahead. And the reflexive pronoun must always agree with whomever is doing the action. All right? Right, so let us conjugate these verbs together. We're going to do it one at a time. All right, so lavarse. Can you write out for me the yo form, the tú form, the él, ella, usted form, nosotros form, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes form, please? You can put them in the chat. If anybody is confused about what I'm asking you to do, please say, right? Half a minute head start. Right, so when I say conjugate, or when a teacher says conjugate, they just mean write out the verb in its different forms. Sure, so I'm asking you to, okay, so let me just do the first one as an example, right? So yo me lavo, right? Lavarse is to wash up oneself, right? So in this case, yo me lavo. Tú, what is the tú form? Tú te lavas, right? Él, ella, usted se lava. Nosotros nos lavamos. Right? Ellos, ellas, ustedes se lavan. Okay, so this is the first one. Yes, please write it out in your book. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Oops, and I cheated here or made a little error here and put in me instead of C. Right, ducharse. Okay, so ducharse is to shower. Not to be confused with bañarse, which is to take a bath, which probably is the picture we had before, more so than to wash up. All right, so to shower, to take a shower, right? All right, so please conjugate this verb for me, use in the different forms. So the yo form, how would we say I shower? In the tú form, how would we say you shower? In the él, ella, usted form, nosotros, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, right? Or you can write it in your book first, then put it in the chat. Okay, so if we want to conjugate this verb, right? The say is really to tell us the pronoun, but we don't need it for the ending. So I'm gonna scratch it out for now, right? The AR is the ending. So we take off the ending. This is our stem, DUCH. And for the yo form, we would add O, right? For the to form, we would add AS. For the AL usted form, we would add A. For the nosotros form, we would add AMOS, duchamos, and for the AOS AS ustedes form, duchan. Now I have to go back and put in my pronouns. In a normal world, I wouldn't do it this way, but I wanted to highlight the endings of the verb, right? All right, so everybody sees that. So check that against what you have. And if you still have a question, tell me, right? So for the yo form of the verb, the reflexive pronoun is me. Okay, I can unhide this SE now. All right, for the to form of the verb, the reflexive pronoun is te. The el state form, it is se. For nosotros, it is nos. For vosotros, sorry, ellos, ellas, ustedes, it is se again. Guys, I cannot stress enough how important it is to send answers. You might understand in theory, but if you write on the answer and there's another issue, we could address that and fix it, and then you won't make it again, right? So please try to send the answers. Don't wait until I give the class a quiz and then we find out that something wasn't clear, right? All right. And also just a reminder, you don't need any of these subject pronouns in Spanish. All of these could be gone. And you would have me ducho, te ducha, se ducha, nos duchamos, se duchan, right? The se ducha or se duchan would be a little confusing, but it could be left out. The ALAO stayed, right? All right, anybody still using this slide? Okay, so I'm gonna clear away. Let's do the next one. Peinarse. To comb one's hair, I couldn't find any good combing hair pictures, so we have a brushing hair picture, but peinarse to comb one's hair. Right, so we're conjugating this one. All right, so the ending will be AR, so that will leave the stem as PEIN, and you'll have to add the verb ending and then the pronoun in front. Right? So take a try. Okay, so for the yo form, it would be me peino, right? I'm gonna be a rebel and leave off the yo. Right? For the to form, it would be te peinas, right? Maybe I should just write out all this down. We'll see if they switch in. Oops. Right. Okay, so me peino, te peinas, él, ella, usted, peina, nosotros. Oh, well, oops. What nonsense am I doing? This is not what I have to put here. What do I have to put here? I have to put se, because it's a reflexive pronoun that I'm putting. I don't need the subject pronoun. In Spanish, a lot of times the subject pronouns are left off, right? All right, so nos peinamos, se peina, right? Good. Okay, anybody still using this slide? Okay, go ahead. All right, preguntarse, to wonder, right? All right, so remember what we said about finding the stem? You cross out the AR and what is left is the stem, right? So let's try conjugating this yo to él, usted, nosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes, right? So take a minute, try it. Right, so me pregunto, right? Now, if I just write, so preguntarse means to wonder. Sorry, I didn't tell you guys that before, right? If I just write preguntar and I conjugate preguntar alone without the se pronoun, I have written to question, right? To ask a question, right? So me pregunto is what I need to say I wonder. I'm asking myself then, right? All right, so te preguntas, right? Se pregunta. Nos preguntamos. Se preguntan, right? Okay. Half a minute here, and if we have any others, I can't remember if we have any others, we will do that together without the pause, right? So I'm giving you half a minute to note anything you have to. Okay, I have two more here. I have three more here, actually. All right, so let's do these together. So we're gonna write at the same time, right? Me se pi yo, right? So I approach this, I notice the say here. The AR is the ending, and so this becomes my stem. So I brush my teeth, CPR, say to brush one's teeth, right? Te cepillas, se cepilla, right? Nos cepillamos, se cepillan, right? Okay, half a minute, and we're going to the next one. Okay. Desayunarse, to have breakfast. Right? Right, so me desayuno, right? The AR is the ending, and so this is the stem, right? Te desayunas, se desayuna, nos desayunamos, se desayunan. Right? Okay, half a minute. All right, so the next one is ponerse, to put on. like to put on your uniform, right? You might know another verb similar to that, vestirse, to get dressed, right? Right, and vestirse. Also reflexive, to get dressed. To dress oneself, right? All right. So who has met poner before? Poner has an irregular first person. This is the ending. So it's me pongo. Me pongo. Te pones. So far we've been doing AR verbs. I'm just realizing now we're on an ER verb. Se pone, right? Nos ponemos. Se ponen. All right, any questions? Let me know. Okay, so let's read through the passage together, right? And then we have some questions to answer on the side here. Me llamo Salvador Montes y soy mecánico. Right, little accent on the A here, right? Siempre me despierte bastante temprano por la mañana. Hoy es el primer día de mis vacaciones de julio y agosto. Y por eso me levanto a las 5:30 de la madrugada. Qué cansado me siento. Sin embargo, hoy es un día muy importante porque voy a empezar un viaje por los pueblos de Andalucía, donde vivo con mis padres y mi hermana menor, Rosario. Voy al cuarto de baño, en donde me lavo, me afeito y me peino el pelo, antes de entrar en el comedor para desayunar. Cuando mi madre entra, nos saludamos y me siento a la mesa. Después del desayuno, me despido de mi madre y salgo de la casa. Por fin, llego a la estación donde Manuel está esperando. Oops, have this twice. Nos estrechamos la mano y nos juntamos a la cola delante de una taquilla para sacar nuestros billetes. Okay, are we feeling lost? Let's read the first line. Me llamo Salvador Montes y soy mecánico. What is he saying? This construction should be familiar to us, right? Me llamo. My name is. I am. I call myself. Right? And I am mecánico. What's mecánico? What job does he do? He's a mechanic. Good. All right. So in terms of what you're heading up in your notebook, you could just, note comprehension, and the name of the comprehension is por la mañana, which means in the morning, right? And the first answer, what is Salvador's job? And you could write, he is a mechanic, right? Okay, let's get to the next question. Siempre me despierte bastante temprano por la mañana. All right, what does this sentence mean? What is siempre? And what is made this, actually, sorry, this should be, despierto, I apologize. So despierto comes from despertarse, which means, if you had in your vocabulary, come on, guys, to wake up, right? All right, so me despierto, I wake up. Bastante temprano, what is temprano? Early in the morning. Okay, let's go through what the rest of the passage means, and then we'll come back to the questions. All right, hoy is today, right? Today es el primer día, is the first day de mis vacaciones de julio y agosto. So what is today? The first day of what? Take a guess. Look at the words. They're very close to their English equivalents. Vacaciones. Vacations. Right, which vacation? Good. Which vacation? Julio y agosto. What does that tell us? July, August vacation. Very good. Right. Okay. Y por eso, and therefore, me levanto. What is me levanto? Come, guys, what is me levanto? This was in our notes last week. We looked at it very briefly at the beginning of class. I get up, right? So despertarse is to wake up, but levantarse is to get up. All right, so I get up at what time? Las 5:30 de la madrugada. What time is that? Forget madrugada for now, but 5:30, 5:30. Okay, great, in the morning. So madrugada is very early morning, right? And he says, que cansado me siento. Right, so how tired I feel, right? All right, let us, let me see how many questions will that get us through. Just the first three. So we sort of answered the first one. Tell me what the answers are for 2 and 3. You can write them down. And then you can tell me in the chat, right? So try number 2 and number 3. Okay, so what is his job? He's a mechanic. What time does he usually wake up? 5:30 in the morning. Anybody wakes up that time? I bet some of y'all get up earlier than that. What is special about today? It's the first day of July, August vacation. Yep, 4 o'clock. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's look at the next paragraph. Well, let's read the questions first and see if we could decipher. Where does Salvador live? Who are the other members of his family? List 3 activities that Salvador does to get ready. What does he do with his mother? Right. So all of this is in our middle paragraph, right? Sin embargo, hoy es un día muy importante porque voy a empezar un viaje por los pueblos de Andalucía, donde vivo con mis padres y mi hermana menor, Rosario. All right, I'm going to highlight where the answers are, and you all are going to decipher them and tell me, right? Right, so where does he live? And what's the next question? Who are the members of his family? That is highlighted. 3 activities that he does to get ready, right? There are quite a few here. Actually, there's mostly 3, right? All right. All right, so where does he live? Okay, right, yeah. That should be obvious because there's just one place name mentioned. And who does he live with? Oh. All right, we're working on 4, 5, and what are 3 activities that he did? A number of them we met last week. And a number of them we conjugated this week. All of them we met last week. And 2 of them we conjugated this week. Today, earlier. All right, good. So let's answer them. Where does he live? He lives in Andalusia, right? That's the only place name here. If you said the towns of Andalusia, in one of the towns in Andalusia, because there's the word pueblos here, that's all right. But he lives in Andalusia. And who does he live with? He says, mis padres and mi hermana menor. So he lives with his parents and his younger sister. What does he do to get ready? He goes to the bathroom. He washes up, he shaves, he combs his hair, right? All right, so here Andalusia, right? Here parents and younger sister. If you said bathes or cleans up or showers, that would be okay, right? And combs hair. Okay, next question. What does he do with his mother? All right, so that piece is here. Take a try. Cuando mi madre entra, nos saludamos y, well, we don't need the next piece. Nos saludamos. Look back at your vocabulary list. We met the verb saludarse. This is nos saludamos. What do they do? Saludarse is to greet, right? All right, so he greets his mother, right? Guys, if ever you have a comprehension to do and you're not sure about the answer because you're not sure, just make a logical guess, right? You see this mother for the first time for the morning, he's probably going to greet her, right? So he greets her. Okay. All right, where does he go after breakfast and who does he meet there? That is the last paragraph. All right, so after breakfast, he says goodbye to his mother and he leaves the house. All right, so here is our sentence with the answer for number 8. And what do they do together? This. All right, let's take a try. Right, he goes to the station. Good. Right. All right, so to the station. Now, guys, this is pretty common vocabulary, especially if any of you are doing this for CSEC. You know, it's pretty common vocabulary that you might see. So if you didn't learn it, please learn it. Goes to the station. And who does he meet? He meets Manuel. Right? And we're talking about like a train station, right? Okay. What do they do together? Nos juntamos a la cola. We join the line, right? In front of a ticket box, a ticket office, una taquilla, ticket stand, right? To get our tickets. Right, you could probably also say para comprar, but this is an idiomatic expression here to get your tickets. Right? And let's see, juntarse, I can't remember if I gave you this in the vocabulary, but this is a useful expression, juntarse a la cola, to join the line, or the queue. Right? All right, I'm going to pause. You can make any corrections, additions you need to. Okay, so we have a little practice exercise here where we have to change the verb according to the subject given, right? Siempre sentarse cansado al despertarse. So this is the infinitive, right? And the se pronoun at the end, infinitive, and the se pronoun. And we want it to be yo. So siempre yo what? How are we changing sentarse to agree with you? See, all right, so sentarse is do I really have sentarse here? This is supposed to be sentirse. Sorry, guys. You know what? Let me put this in I'll just type in the answers as we discuss them, right? All right, so sentirse and sentarse is stem changing, right? Now we haven't done stem changing together as yet, but perhaps some of you have. So it would become siempre. I have to put in the pronoun siento, right? Cansado. And if you are female, cansada, right? Al Despertar. Okay, so here you need to tell me. I'm missing my pronoun here, and I'm missing my pronoun here. What are the pronouns to agree with you? What are the reflexive pronouns to agree with you? Sorry. That's the end. So mucho. Right, here we go. What are the reflexive pronouns to agree with you? Me. Right. Me. So me siento, right? Cansada al despertar me. So far we have been putting the reflexive pronoun in front of the verb like normal people, right? But there is when there's an infinitive, we put it at the end, right? Which is a rule we won't get to today, but we will do it first thing next week. Okay? All right, next one. Let make the verb agree with mi padre and conjugate it for me. So mi padre, my father, what? I want to say he gets up early. How do I conjugate levantarse? What will it say? Remember the pronoun, right? All right, so guys, remember the stem. Some people are adding the endings onto the ending. Sometimes we are mixing up the vowels. Right? Él se, yes, okay, él se. So se, mi padre se levanta. Temprano, right? My father gets up early. Right, okay. Do you come here in class? Peinar say in class, we need the two form. Just a second, let me just get this onto our slide so we can have some accents when needed. So many things on my screen. Okay. Right. All right. Where's the reflexive pronoun? What is the reflexive pronoun? Right. Te peinas en la clase. Right? Good. Okay, what about number 3? Lavarse is the verb. What should it become for to agree with nosotros? Nos. Good. Lavamos. So nos lav. Do we clean up any? Do we bathe in the kitchen? Do we wash ourselves in the kitchen? Do we wash up in the kitchen? No. Right? All right. Las chicas despedirse de sus padres. The girls said goodbye to their parents. All right, so chicas is plural, so it's the they form but plural, right? So think about it. Try 5 and 6. All right. Las chicas se despiden, right? Despedirse is also a stem change in, so the inside of it is going to look different from the infinitive, right? Va a ponerse a la cola. Are you going to join the line? Another way to say join the line, right? Just now we did juntarse a. So, él, is he going to join the line? Sorry. Se pone a la cola, right? All right, good. Okay, let's look at, where are we? Number 7, no voy a lavarse ahora. I'm not going to clean up today. I'm not going to bathe today. Shower today. So what do we put here? No, okay, so this is a little bit of a trick, right? We don't need to conjugate lavar this time because look what it says. No voy a. So I am not going. No voy is I am not going, right? So I am not going is no voy, right? No voy. To clean up, to shower, to bathe, right? So this is still the infinitive form. Lavar. This remains as the infinitive form. Everybody sees that? Because if it's the to form of the verb, it's the verb in AR, ER, or IR form, not conjugated. If it's the, let me say that again. If it's the TO, as in to do something form of the verb. So for instance, to look would be mirar, right? What else? To eat is comer. To live is vivir, right? So if this is what we're trying to say, if we wanted to say, I'm not going to eat today, no voy a comer hoy, right? I'm not going to, oh, no, this is now, not today, sorry. Our is now, right? So lavar stays as lavar. This is new. We haven't done an example like this as yet. And then we just make the pronoun agree with who is doing the subject, who is doing the action, right? Well, in this case, not doing the action, right? So me, because it's the yo form. Everybody follow? Anybody confused? Oh, are you all tired? I feel like I am tired. So I can't imagine for you guys after a full day of school. All right. Everybody understands number 7, why it remains as lavar. We will do more of this next week, Wednesday. Or tomorrow if you're feeling brave and you want to come to the Tuesday class for the younger students, right? All right. No sentirse bien. You don't feel well. No te sientes bien, right? You don't feel well. Lots of questions here, boy. ¿A qué hora despertarse? What time do you wake up? So here, we have to conjugate it. It becomes te despiertas. All right, let's do the last 3 together. So mi hermano afeitarse, sorry, my brother is shaving. So my brother se, that's the ill form of the verb, right? Se afeitan, right? Pablo sentarse. Pablo is the ill form of the verb. So Pablo se sientan. Sienta, sorry. Mis amigos despedirse. So de, ellos, right? So se despiden, right? Okay, any questions? Any concerns? I'm just gonna go to the homework quickly and come back to this slide because I know some people are probably still writing, right? All right, so homework this week is just to review numbers. Numbers, right? So, oh boy. Having a hard time finding the links that I put here that I wanted you to look at for homework. Right, this is it, okay? So you have 2 videos to take a look at. Count 100 in Spanish, which we were looking at before. We want to be able to get familiar with hearing the sounds of the words, right? And then another one, Spanish numbers from 10 to 1,000. And that's a Roca Lingua, I think, video. If you all don't know that site, that you should follow that YouTube channel. It has nice videos to help you remember things in a fun way, right? All right, yes. How do we get the recording for class? We go to the school website, which is www.iLoveLessons.com, right? And the password for Spanish is SOFA. Right? All common letters. Okay, and remember that you can reach out to me if you are confused about anything on WhatsApp, right? Yes, it's in the Spanish classroom. So you go to the Spanish classroom, but still will need about 24 hours to post the video, right? All right, so I think we can stop our recording here.